Welcome to Blend's Localization Leaders series, where we interview industry leaders who are paving the way for advances in localization through their work. In this episode, we're joined by Galyna Margolin, Senior Localization Project Manager at Payoneer. Payoneer is a cross-border business payment platform, enabling entrepreneurs, freelancers, and business owners to pay and get paid around the world. Welcome, Galyna. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to have you on our Localization Leaders series.
Hi, Corinne. Thank you for inviting. Very exciting indeed.
Absolutely. So, can you start by telling us a little bit about your career path and how you've ended up as Payoneer's Senior Localization Project Manager?
Yes, sure. So I came to Israel 12 years ago, and work in Payoneer was my first temporary job, which is important to
Oh,
mention.
wow.
I was a customer support representative, and my biggest power was I'm a German speaker, so I was the only one on that
Mm,
time. And this is why I stayed, because I was irreplaceable, let's say.
yeah.
After a year and a half in customer support, I moved to operations and I did something completely different. But under the same department, the localization was also there. So operations
Mhm.
and localization. And I was kind of watching the localization guy and I was thinking, oh, I think I like it. And then the localization team started to consist of three people, and the main guy left. And I was like, okay, that's my chance. And I asked my manager if I can try because I have linguistical background. I studied German and I studied English as a linguist. And again, I saw how he was doing it. I was watching him all the time and I was interested. And my manager gave me a chance to try. And now, over 5 years, I guess I'm already leading localization team.
Wow. That's amazing. It's an amazing story. So, what role would you say localization plays at Payoneer today? What does your team look like, your department look like?
I think for every business nowadays, for any global business, especially for the ones which is dealing with the money, which is extremely
Mm,
important, localization is essential and crucial. And one of our marketing managers, I think in Poland, he told me people are very suspicious. And if the translation quality is not good
mm,
enough, people will
right.
just not trust you with the money. I think it's not only in Poland, I think it's all over the world, which only proves that localization is essential and very important for our business. So the team is still three people. It's me
Oh,
and two more. Yes, we have kind of a structure. One is more on operational content, another one is more on marketing content, and I'm like doing everything and supervising and kind of keeping track of everything what is going on.
wow, amazing. So small but efficient team. And definitely, like you said, I feel like payments so sensitive that
Extremely.
it's so important for the trust part. Absolutely. Um, so as a localization team and department, you may have experienced that it can be difficult to gain budget or resources or just recognition. Some depends on the management that you work with, but sometimes higher management doesn't recognize localization's importance from the beginning. Do you have any tips for other localization managers that want to demonstrate the value of localization?
Yeah, it's very important not to like kind of underestimate the value. And I can say that I'm very good and like entertain like showing myself being important, but I think I'm learning this slowly. And the process is very complex indeed, and the higher management
Mm,
is not even supposed to understand. So it's very
yeah,
important to explain why is it so slow, why is it so expensive, not to take for granted that manager is supposed to understand what is going on, not to take for
right,
granted that the logic of which languages should be prioritized or not
right.
is like people are not so deep in this, and you need to understand that you are an expert. Although you're
Hmm.
not a VP and you're not even a manager, but you're an expert in this field, and you need to speak up because otherwise, indeed, no one will most likely know what is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like the representative
Yes,
for localization. Yeah. And so what would you say is Payoneer's greatest localization strength?
I would say it's cooperation. I know a lot of other companies do have a big department, also all kinds of language speakers, which make sure that this, and this language looks good. This is not our case. We do not have a huge team and representative for every key language, at least. So we are working in cooperation with internal teams because we have a big number of offices. We have it in Japan and in China and in Latin America and in Gibraltar. So um, the localization quality is partly um, a big success of all of us because the teams are cooperating, they are helping, they are guiding. Yeah, so I would say cooperation of internal teams.
From your experiences, do you have any piece of advice that you would share with other localization professionals or even someone that's interested in entering the field like you were?
Entering the field is not so easy
Mm.
because usually when you want to enter you are already supposed to be kind of experienced. So if you're interested in localization, maybe start something nearby and then eventually make your path to localization. Is indeed a wonderful place to be. For those who are working right now, I think the biggest advice would be to keep the eyes open in terms of technologies because
Mm.
now it's like it's growing and it's getting amazing. And I'm not saying transfer everything to AI, no, but this is definitely something what shouldn't be disregarded. Current technologies and development of automation.
Absolutely. Okay, so thank you so much, Galina. We will move to our rapid fire questions. So it can be short answers, however you like. So we'll start with, I know you already said you studied a few languages. So what is your favorite language?
Français. This is my next one. The next one I will learn.
Oh yeah, amazing. Are
Yes,
you studying already or you're working on it?
I'm concentrating on starting.
Okay. Amazing. What's your favorite localization tool?
Collective mind.
Nice. And the favorite place that you've traveled to?
France.
Okay. That's a pattern. And what's the best localization advice you've ever received?
No one will tell you that you're good because no one is paying attention on localization. People only get
Mm.
it when it doesn't go well. So if you want everyone to see
Mm.
how good you are, this is your own responsibility.
Good advice. What would you say is your localization nightmare?
Localization nightmare would be translating something um, very specific. I can give an example. We had a slogan saying, "And now relax, lay back and relax. Payoneer will handle the rest." So in a couple of languages, let's say in Russian, it was translated in a very, very weird way. So it really looked bad, and it could. So so I think translating this kind of slogans in a very
Mm.
short term, something urgent and complicated, is a nightmare because we don't have a way to go over all languages, making sure
Right,
it doesn't look good. Yes, so
right.
tricky sentences like this one.
Okay. Yeah. And who is your localization role model?
Role model, whoever localized Apple.
Wow. Yeah, so I guess my next question is which brand is your localization crush? So I
Netflix.
don't know if it's Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is a good one.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes,
So
I need to say.
yeah, yeah, it is amazing. So that's it for our rapid fire. Thank you so much, Galina, for joining us, for sharing your wisdom. It was really a pleasure speaking with you.
It was really a pleasure speaking with you, and good luck to anyone who is going to join localization field.